Miraculous is no stranger to ridiculous soap opera level twists. Whether it's Hawkmoth's secret identity actually being the father of one of the main two heroes, the two main love interests getting tangled up in a confusing love square, or Adrian's mum being locked up in a fridge in the basement, there's never a shortage of drama or mystery for the fandom to theorise about. In the last couple of months, Zag's been seemingly unable to stop dropping spoilers or hints about the upcoming film, future Miraculous World specials, or even Season 4. And one of these spoilers involves the existence of a secret pair of siblings that'll be revealed sometime during Season 4. Now, of course, at first I thought, really? You're going in that direction? It's such a silly story point. And you know what? I still kind of feel that way. It is kind of ridiculous. But I think if you watch the show long enough, you have to kind of come to peace with that kind of thing and embrace the wackiness and weirdness of the story and its setting. With all that being said, today I want to briefly go over all the possible combinations of who these secret siblings could be. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but for all we know, that could be a misdirect to make the reveal more exciting. So we'll start with the tinfoil hat theories first. The first of these is Adrian and Chloe. There really isn't that much going on for this one, despite the fact that they both have blonde hair, are rich, and their families are particularly close. But in the interest of having a complete list, I thought I'd include it. But the problem is, they both resemble their mums, and unless Gabe's a very naughty boy, I doubt this one's the case. But you know what might make a tad more sense? If Gabriel had a secret sibling. Maybe it could be Chloe's mum. They're both blondish, they're both heavily involved in the fashion industry, and they both have very questionable parenting styles. Plus, they seem to have a connection that goes back to when Adrian was a child. Considering how private and reclusive Gabriel is, it would make sense if the wider world doesn't really know anything about his background. And considering how arrogant and self-absorbed Chloe's mum is, it would make sense if she doesn't really talk about how they're connected because she wants all the attention for herself. It would just really join the dots as to why, out of all the kids in the world, he lets Chloe spend time with his son when he's notoriously protective of him. But beyond that, it does seem a bit of a stretch. We've seen them interact before and there was no real hints. To have this come out of left field would be a bit of a weird twist. And this leaves us with the last and most likely scenario. Adrian and Felix. And realistically, this is the only one that it actually is, like, at all. They have the same character design, only differentiated by their outfit and hair. In fact, they're so similar that by simply changing his clothes and hair, Felix could impersonate Adrian and fool his friends into thinking it was actually him. In real life, this would be a pretty hard task for a cousin to pull off, so that means Felix probably has to be identical to Adrian. And I've not really heard much about identical cousins before, but somehow I doubt they resemble each other as much as identical twins would. But beyond their physical appearance, it just makes sense from a story point of view. The fact is that their mothers both appear to be twins. This kind of thing can run in maternal lines, so it's possible that the Egrests gave one of the kids away because either the sister or her husband were infertile. Couple this with Felix's supposed inferiority complex towards Adrian and his attempted sabotage of his life, and it makes a lot of sense. Maybe he found out the truth after his dad died and now he feels rejected by his biological family. It would also tie in nicely to his obsession with getting one of the rings back. His aunt/bio-mum is dead and he wants something of hers. On top of that, I assume he'll be getting more screen time next season, likely as a foil to Adrian, and the pieces are just falling into place. So those are probably the main choices for the secret siblings going forward into Season 4. Based on design and story relevance, I don't really think any other combinations of characters really come close to those I've talked about in this video. Although I think it's possible for the first two options to be revealed in the show, specifically Gabriel and Chloe's mum combo, it's far more likely it's just going to be Adrian and Felix. I mean, if they didn't want people to pick up on this, they would have designed the character using different models instead of just reskinning Adrian to make Felix. And beyond those visual similarities, it's clear they're setting him up for a villain role and plan on expanding the secret history of the two families. It sets up Felix as a perfect foil for Adrian, much in the same way Chloe and Lila serve as one for Marinette, except it just adds another layer on top of that. And I think this could be a really interesting and intriguing storyline if they manage to pull it off, but it could also be terrible. These things don't really have much of an in-between. It's either a cool and exciting twist, or a lame soap opera storyline. That being said, now I want to throw it to you guys. Who do you think the secret siblings are going to be in Miraculous Season 4? Are they going to go the more obvious route, or are they going to go for the Hail Mary out of the blue twist version? I'm curious to hear what you have to say, so make sure to leave a comment and let me know.